Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Baxter's Blades. You're entering the tree fort. I figured I would do a treetop video today of, well, Rosecraft blades. It is the Piney River Peanut Blue Bone, RCT 029BBB. Let's check it out. Yeah, I figured I would do something a little different. Give you guys a break from the buck unpacking madness. 3 episodes are out and there's 2 more to come. This is the Piney Creek Peanut, and I was reluctant to do a video because, well, everybody's done a video on it, and here's mine. I wanted to get it out in the sunshine. They do call it vintage blue bone. So I've heard it be called heritage blue bone. The package says BBB, which is Bora Bora Blue. Now, we all know that it seems as if every batch of Bora Bora Blue is different. And, well, in the sunlight, this looks like a really nice, bright blue. But you can see the darker acorn, darker specks around what look to be brass pins to me. And traditional pocket knives, they are stated as brass pins. I've heard a few other people say they're nickel silver, and somebody said Andy Armstrong said they are nickel silver, but they sure do look brass. We have the Rose Balm Shield. This blue is very nice. It's kind of like a Mediterranean blue. It is a nice ocean blue. It may lighten up over time. I see a little speck blim on the end of the bone there. I'm not sure what that is, but gives it some character. I am really impressed with this peanut. I'm going to compare it to a case peanut. It is a single-bladed peanut. It is about the same thickness as a case two-bladed peanut. There are no gaps in the back spring, completely flush, and the pull on this is a 6.5 to 7, at least a 7. It is a strong pull for a peanut. I'm pretty impressed, and it's nice to have a good strong pull. It's not going to come down on you, but it is stronger than the Buffalo River or Buffalo Creek jackknife, which is very interesting. You do have the China sticker, and Andy's Maker's Mark, the model number, and D2 steel. Great half stop, flush in the half stop position, and, well, get your finger away. Nice snap. When you look at the front, bolster is rounded. The rear bolster is squared off, a lot like the Stinking Creek sow belly. Again, I'd say that's pretty much a 7 pull to me, which I like a strong pull. Not everybody does. I just found it interesting that the smaller knife would have a stronger pull than a knife bigger than it. Yes, the box does say, let's see if we can get in there, RCT 029 BBB. Well, you know, when factories in China are inconsistent, just call it what you want when it comes. Bodacious blue bone, how about that? It is a nice blue. It is nice to have a different blue instead of all the Bora Boras being exactly the same. It is nice. Like I said, the Buffalo River Jack is a lighter blue. The original Bora Bora is definitely a bright tropical blue, and this is a Mediterranean. I just said that. Well, I have a case peanut I'd like to compare. I love the blade shape on this. It is 2 7/8. No, it is like 2.9 inches. I guess we can compare them side by side. The case is about 2 7/8. They're about The Rosecraft is probably a 16th longer. It's about 3 inches, which is to me about a perfect size for a peanut. And the case is about 3 inches, is 2 7/8. So this is a Redbone carbon steel case peanut. It is 2-bladed. You have the pin and clip. I kind of think the pin blade is really not necessary on the peanut, but if Case made a single-bladed peanut, which I think they do, it would be very thin. This blade cants down. So there they are, side by side. Both beautiful peanuts. You can definitely see the difference in blade shape. Like I said, the Case peanut clip point cants down. The Rosecraft goes directly out. Definitely more belly to the tip of the Rosecraft. There's swedging on the Rosecraft. Let's look at the blade stock. Yeah, the Rosecraft is much thicker. But it does taper down toward the tip. But this does seem a little, flimsy. You can bend it. This is definitely more hardcore. A heavy user peanut. A mighty peanut, as you might say. And then this one has a pin blade. The Piney River does not. Like I said, the pin blade is kind of not really necessary because, well, it's a peanut. And this blade is plenty small enough, probably the size of pin blades on other knives. But it definitely makes the Case peanut very unique. When you show them back to back here, you can see they are about the same thickness. Now they both swell a little bit in the bone. This does have brass liners. The Rosecraft does not. So very close in thickness, and I like a peanut you can get your hand on. The single-bladed peanuts would be very slim, like I said, from Case. I'm sure they make them. I don't know if I've actually seen one. I know other manufacturers make them. What else to say? I got this the other day. I don't think I'll be getting the Stag. I wanted to get this because it was limited edition. Maybe if there's a second on a Stag peanut, I may pick it up. $70 is a lot. These go for $51.99 or $95, depending on where you get them. And that's actually really reasonable for such a well-built peanut. I got it the other day and I wanted to carry it, but I figured I would wait to release this video so I wouldn't spoil anything. But in holding it and playing with it, I honestly think I like it better than a Case peanut. Now, I only have 2 Case peanuts. I have this Redbone in carbon steel. I have the synthetic orange in stainless steel. And they're cool, and I occasionally carry them. Generally in a 5th pocket, I'll carry the 2-bladed Congress, the small Congress by Case. They're very cool. They're some people's favorite patterns. New Again knife reviews. And, well, now that Rosecraft has released this Piney River, I definitely am going to carry this a lot more. Now, there's a lot of people out there like, China, I won't buy that crap. Oh, it's overpriced. Yeah, well, then just keep on scrolling. Go to a different video. Now, I am all for being made in America, but a lot of Case products are imported. And they don't say where they're imported from, and they assemble them in the United States. So just because this was assembled offshore doesn't make it any less of a knife. Now, the pins are smooth. Transitions are all smooth. And like I said, you can kind of see how the pins almost look brass. Now, I asked Austin on the last release before this, are those really brass pins? And he said yes. Now, Davo from El Paso reviewed, it's the Congress that came out, reviewed those and says they're nickel silver pins. And I said, I think they're brass pins. And he said, I talked to Andy and he said they're nickel silver. So Your guess is as good as mine. I have seen some nickel silver from China that has a brassy color to it. This would be more of a 5 pull. This would be a 7 pull if you were just wondering. Now, granted, case knives can vary. I do feel a hint of blade play here. Doesn't matter, this is a light duty knife. Zero blade play. Stout blade, beautiful shape, fantastic job, Andy Armstrong. I am very impressed with this. I was gonna wait for a second on it, but being limited edition, I don't know, maybe there won't be seconds. I'm getting probably pitch or sap on it. I'll have to clean it off. And if there are, maybe I will buy a second of this because it is such a well-built peanut. I appreciate you guys joining me in the Tiger Tree Fort up here in the safari with pine cones falling out of the sky. You all stay sharp, be kind, and take chances. Take care.